I remember how to do this, and I didn't boomer it. How's it going, y'all?
It's going good. Going good. Thanks for having us on today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So I decided to do a special stream for Riff Riders today because my good friend Piper and Luke Stone are amazing creators, and I'm loving what I'm seeing coming from them. So thought I'd bring you guys on. We could talk about it, see if we can get some funding for it.
I'm on board for that.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
I love your audio avatar.
Right?
It's kind of a more sophisticated version of what Ace Ventura does. I think
This is actually from Shay. Shay made this for me so that I would have a professional
you're
butt
professional. Yeah,
avatar because I'm the
you're the
talking
butt
butt
avatar.
here. So
Yeah.
um, we got a few people over in the chat. I'm gonna say hi real quick, and
All
then
right, let's
we'll
do
we'll
that.
jump into Riff Riders. American Comics Co. What's up? Thanks for coming by, friend. Raiden Radio. What's up,
Right.
man? Ain't seen that name in a minute. Geld. What's up, Geld? Bell Rider. Yes. So I do have an announcement about that tonight. So, and I'm gonna make it here with you guys.
All right.
Awesome.
Papa Cotton, what's up, Papa Cotton? Yes, buy Piper and Luke's book. That's what we're here for. Sell books.
Yes.
Mrs. G, what's up, Mrs. G? We got Romer in the house. And like I said, Bell Rider, I got an announcement about that. All right. So, tell us a little bit about Riff Riders and what you are doing with it.
Piper, you want to start?
Sure. I
Go
keep
for it.
messing
Yeah.
with the. I guess this is earlier than I usually stream, so it's really
Right.
bright
Yeah.
out, and I can't figure out the lighting. I'm like, why am I in shadow no matter what I do? What's
Yeah.
going on here?
Everybody
Or I'm
can see
washed
my
out.
mess behind me. Don't worry about. Don't worry about it. They can all see my. I'm trying
We'll
to get my
still know what
office
to do
really
with
nice.
daylight, right, Piper?
Right? Yeah, this ain't my thing. This whole sun stuff,
It's like, what is this
Ah.
daytime thing we're doing here?
right?
I feel you.
Riff Riders. I like the number we're stuck at on backers. It's really funny. But
Yes. We'd like to change that though.
we're on the funny number. But
My
I would love
favorite
to
number.
like find other funny numbers. It's another funny number is 420. So
Yeah.
That's a good number.
right.
You know what else is a good number? 100. If we could get 31
Yeah.
more backers
That would be awesome.
on this project,
That would be sweet.
there would be 100 backers. And we can do that. We can do that, y'all.
And we probably fund if we had
We
about 100.
probably would. Yeah, we probably would get pretty darn close. Pretty darn close, especially if they hooked us up, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
close. I mean, you're not that far from funding. And I want to see this get funded.
Yeah.
Like,
More
I
than
back
half. Ooh,
Now
sorry, I
this
interrupted.
this is a really fun project that we've been working on, and I think we kind of there's this misconception that when you say that it's suitable for all ages, that it's a kid's book. This is not a kid's book. This is written smart for adults. Okay, kids can read it without finding out about things they shouldn't learn about, right? At a younger age. People make books for that too, that kind of content for people. But what we're making it, this is very reminiscent of kind of old school sci-fi stuff that you would watch with the whole family. Like my dad and I used to watch Star Trek together, and this is very reminiscent of that. It's something that we can kind of all sit down and read and enjoy. I told someone the other night that if you leave this in the bathroom at church, you're okay, or if you leave this in the bathroom at the strip club, you're okay. It is enjoyable by all, and so now at this point I will shut up, and I will let Piper talk.
I feel like a lot of it too is people get thrown off by the art style. The art style just happens to be perfect for the mood uh, of this book, but it's not like it wasn't the art style wasn't picked to appeal to children. It was picked because it really suited the mood of the book.
Don't like Piper. It was picked to suit me. Like I was like, oh, that's cool.
I like the art style though. It's
I do
got
too.
like it reminds me of the old like Cartoon Network cartoons.
Yes,
Yes.
And
Yes.
so like I enjoyed those. Even as an adult, I would watch those.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
kind of the point.
and that's a lot of people don't realize that this is John Dillard's art. But he ended up, when he read the script, having the exact same mental image as we did, and that was the inspired by old school Cartoon Network kind of stuff. And Dillard's been saying that he's having a blast drawing this style. It's just fun for him.
Dillard's a
Art
good
style
artist.
reminds me of Archer. Yeah, a little Archer. Yeah, I see that.
A little
Yeah,
Archer, yeah,
Dillard.
a little
Yeah,
Archer.
Dillard, I love Dillard's work.
Yeah, it's a little Archer. It's got some hints of kind of the old Batman a little bit, but definitely Teen Titans, the good one.
Yeah, the
not
good
that
Teen
not that
Titans.
crap one, the good one. Yeah. The one where Starfire had all the innuendos and said stuff
Yeah.
that was mildly inappropriate.
This is that adults would catch, but kids would never know what they meant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, I like that kind of stuff. Like for me, that works for me because like I've got children, right? And so my kids can enjoy it and I don't have to explain things, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here going, okay, explain everything's mama to them. And I can enjoy it because, I get the humor. I get the little, like you said, innuendos here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. That kind of stuff, and that's really what we're going for, is something just kind of pleasant, easy to look at, and fun. We worked around to get the right colorist too. Once we got the art style that we wanted and the artist on the job that we wanted. Now this is the first comic that I'm producing that the art in the book isn't finished before we go to crowdfunding. And so I wanted to make sure that I had built up a reputation that Luke fulfills. And so once I felt like I had that suitably established, then I wanted to do something like this where I hire someone else to do it. But I wanted to make sure I hired an artist that also had a reputation of meeting deadlines and fulfilling. And so that was Dillard was a perfect fit for that. And so then once we had gotten that established, we tried around a couple different colorists, and we wound up getting this guy named Edgar Tavitas. And so he is super talented guy and really got the mood and the glow of the work. So he kind of just kind of brought it to life, really opened it up for us. And so once we got it all settled, I got really, really excited about it. And I think that Dillard did too, that John did too, because when he saw the colors with it, he's like, oh, I like that. So yeah.
Well, the colors with Dillard's line work is really good. It doesn't really take away from his line work. It doesn't look like it adds to it. It's one of those moments where it enhances the line work.
Yeah.
We talk about that quite a bit, especially in Comicsgate, whether colors take away or add to. And so some artists it takes away from, like if you have someone like Joe Ball, his artwork.
Right, yeah.
Because he's so detailed. Like color actually takes away from his line work, whereas
it makes it less enjoyable to look at sometimes.
Yeah. So I really dig the colors on this. I think it really enhances his line work.
Yeah, and Dillard's actually working on 2 new pages right now, so that we can show some of the additional threats that are in our universes. I can't say universe because this is they have the ability to travel through time, space, and dimension. So this opens up for a lot of fun possibilities. I like to take scenarios that allow for maximum creativity, because one of my favorite things to do is to sit around talking with creative people and say, oh, what if this happened? Oh, what if this happened? And just kind of dream and imagine. And so this is a good opportunity for that. And so I'd kind of come up with the scenario, and these 3 characters I had been working on and kind of batting back and forth a little bit. And Piper had been editing for me for, a while at that point. this was before I got sick. We were planning on. We did the first 5 pages, had another artist work on it, and she did a fine job. And we had another colorist work on it, but it wasn't quite the look and feel that we were going for. So we had to upgrade with that, and grab somebody else that really got it, that captured it a little bit better. And so so we worked together kind of before, and so I brought this to her. I said, Piper, I got this idea. I said, but I don't have a conflict. I don't have something to make it a plot. I said, but I got these fun characters. I really want to use them. And I've been trying to think of things, but everything just seems derivative and forced. So she had this perfect idea. She's like, yeah, I actually was working on something with another collaboration, and this would work perfect for this. And so we just married the two, and
So this is a true collaboration between the two of you.
yeah, I mean, from start to finish, even the logo is a collaboration.
I got a few questions from my chat for you guys. Timothy Olson, what's up, man? He said, what was the inspiration for the book?
Well, it's 2 inspirations. So I'll tell you my inspiration, then Piper has to tell you hers, because it really is a true collaboration on what inspired us to tell the parts of the story that we are. So my inspiration was, number one, wanting to have a fun sci-fi thing, because I don't typically, I want to produce a lot of different books, and I get, because I've been working on the hybrids thing for so long, that people just think that's kind of where I'm at, and that's my only train of thought, and it's not. I just have all these other ideas that I don't have time to do. And so I wanted to expand Luke Stone Studios to be something more than just one title, but to many titles that we produce. And so that was kind of the initial inspiration for that. Sorry about my Alexa. Someone walks up and everyone hears it.
I just had a kid walk in, man. It's nap time here, and so the little one's like up running around. She's like, I don't want to go to sleep.
Yeah, nobody sneaks up on me ever. Alexa's got my back, literally. So no, shut up, Alexa. You can't say her name because she starts to talk to you. And so anyway, and I knew I wanted to do some fun sci-fi thing. I'm really into Doctor Who. I was a little bit into Star Trek. Really love Star Wars, and all of those like fun adventure kind of sci-fi stories, Flash Gordon, all that. And so I just wanted to do something in that vein. And so I started creating characters, because that's always my first thing. Like, what are characters? We need a dynamic between people, personalities that will make it interesting. And so I just started writing the characters, and from there, I wanted a group of people that were just having fun, and something happened to make them stop having fun. And then Piper came along.
And I'm good at stopping fun, apparently.
I doubt that, Piper.
I'll
I've
stop
seen
them
your
from having
live streams,
fun.
Piper. I have seen your live streams, and I know you are like the poster child for fun.
Aw, thank you.
You are. She is, yeah.
That's my fun sister right here, y'all.
Thanks, Bob. Bob says he's behind me. I appreciate that. Is that in a good way or a creepy way? I'm not sure.
I was about to say.
That could be bad. I mean, in the long run, that could be problematic.
Let's see. We have a few people that have showed up. We got Dean. What's up, Dean?
What's up, Dean?
Miss beautiful Amanda B. What's up, Amanda B? We got Pops. Yo, from CromCon. Yeah, we got CromCon tonight, y'all, at 9 Eastern. I'll be on there. Orange Hat Reviews. What's up? Slash and Burn Theory. What's up? And then Bob, Bug with One Eye. My residential troll along with Gel.
Is that? Oh, I like his picture. It's funny.
Slash and Burn says that sci-fi is a genre that I'd be scared to try. What made you want to go with sci-fi, Luke?
There's a lot of possibility with sci-fi, and it's just, especially, I think that's what I loved about Doctor Who, was the whole time and space thing, where you can go anywhere. But I also like the idea of being able to travel interdimensionally, like those old comic books, like, Earth 1, Earth 2, that kind of stuff. I was really inspired, like really intrigued by the movie One back in the day with Jet Li, and so those kind of things just made me want to do something in the sci-fi genre. Hybrids is kind of already there with some science fiction elements. It just, because of the superpowers, it throws it more into superhero than it
Right.
does anything else. But there's a heavy science fiction element to it, and so it was nothing. I was not scared of it. It was something I just wanted to dive into. I'd been writing something in fantasy, but I really just wanted to do old school, you know, fun sci-fi. And then, so Piper, what inspired your half of this story?
Betrayal. No.
Betrayal. Is it,
No.
is a damn
We
villain.
all
is what it
relate to
was.
that in some way, I'm sure.
I know, right? But yeah, no, it was a lot of really, especially that's why I'm so happy about the art. Capturing just the stuff that I used to love watching as a kid and the stuff that I could sit down and enjoy watching with my son until he decided he was too cool for that stuff. Now he's back into anime and that's cool again, I guess. So that's fun. But that and kind of the same deal of well, my dad is like very sci-fi and fantasy. My mom was very sci-fi. So I grew up watching Star Trek. Star Trek Next Generation is where I really started to be old enough to understand what was happening and remember stuff. Quantum Leap, Doctor Who was a big one in my dad's my grandma on my dad's side. She was in love with the classic Doctor Who, so when they brought that back, that was a lot of fun. But I noticed, like, TV wise, most of what I watched was sci-fi. I think more than anything else. It was like sci-fi, and then there's also X-Files, and that was like the two main things I remember following back when I watched TV. And I did want to just capture that again. Although I do agree, sci-fi being a genre I'd be scared to try. That was my first thought way back in the day. But so many of my ideas kept falling into the sci-fi category, even from back in the day. Like, I have some fantasy ideas, but a lot of it just really was more fantasy sci-fi. And I think it's because sci-fi just like it feels like there's rules, but there's really not when you can make stuff up. As
Yeah.
long as you can make it sound plausible, there's no rules. Just make it sound plausible, you're good.
Well, I think the other cool thing about sci-fi
Stargate,
is,
yes.
yeah, I think the other cool thing about sci-fi is you can weave in elements of horror
Right.
with it, you know, because you never know what kind of monsters or aliens you're going to encounter out there. And I like the idea of not, you know, here's the problem with a lot of superhero books, is that there's always one big bad that you have to face off against. I'm guilty of it. That's what's happening in Hybrids right now. But there's not a lot of street level saving people kind of thing that happens in a lot of these books. And sci-fi gives you an opportunity to do that because each issue or episode, you can be in a new planet, a new dimension, a new time period, and there could just be a puzzle that you have to figure out, or there can be a big bad. You know, the Doctor has the Master. You know, so there is always an opportunity for those kind of things. But it also gives you an opportunity to write smarter. You know, to, you know, not just punch everything. You know, but to have to actually figure out issues. And Piper's really good at writing those kind of things. I'm really good at writing like big action stuff and boom, pows, punches, and backflips and all that. I realized I was doing some layouts today for someone, and I realized I really like drawing those complicated things. Like, that's fun. And, but there's a place for that and a time for that. But then there's also a place for just intelligent adventure and action. And Piper's really good at writing that. And I think the two of us working together, it kind of creates a little bit the best of both worlds, if you will, on this.
Right.
Because she fits that in. Then I come along and I'm like, we need something to blow up here, you know. And that's not. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. Like, we went through the script. You know, I'm playing Piper on this one. I'm the editor, and so I went through the script. I'm like, this is really good. And I thought about it for a while. I'm like, you know what? We need something to blow up or like something big here. We need a jump scare. And so I made her write a jump scare.
Is this your first book since Hybrids?
Me? Yeah, so I did Hybrids, the one that just fulfilled last year. So it was already finished, and then I crowdfunded it when I got home from the hospital after 5 months. Man, I'll tell you, here's the deal. It feels like life got put on pause for 5 or 6 months, right? But everybody else, life just kept going, and people
Right.
changed and things changed, and I feel so far behind on where I wanted to be at this point last year. Like I thought that at this point now in 2022, I would be on like issue 2 or 3 of this. I would be done with the initial arcs of Hybrids, and I would be doing my horror book, Juror 13, and my another kind of sci-fi adventure book called Eighth Day. I thought I'd be already on those, like full issues on those, and I'm not. And so it's driving me crazy that I'm not. So I'm working like a madman, 13 to 14 hours a day to try to get caught up, just because life is short and I don't want to miss anything. And so yeah, this is my first one back, where we're actually producing the whole book. Technically, Hybrids issue 9 is. I've got 4 pages left to draw of that, and then when it's done, I'll have the colors back in a couple weeks, and it'll be lettered, and we're getting ready to do sign up. But I don't want to start doing sign up to launch that one until this book funds,
Right.
because I don't want to pull my energy away from this until it's hit the mark so that we can produce it, because this one has to get produced. Hybrids is already done by the time. I mean, it's going to be fully lettered and everything by the time sign up sheet hits. So it's done. All the covers are finished. The only thing I'm doing is printing action figures and statues. That's it. And so we'll have those for the campaign. Everything else will be purchased and ready, in-house, ready to go. So this one requires all of my attention right now. So yeah, it is. It's kind of a big deal for me. I'm really excited about it. It's also the first time I'm using a big Arrow bundle to, that this is part of the Arrow universe, Arrow Comics universe. And, we've got Randy promoting it regularly. He and I are tabling in a couple of weeks in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So
Oh,
we're
wow.
gonna be talking about this book and just where it's going and some other stuff we're working on. Yeah, so this is really exciting for me. And as big a deal as it is for me, it's a bigger deal for Piper. So I'll let Piper talk about that, because her passion for this book is probably more than mine. So
Yeah, this is the first time I'm getting to write a full comic. I've wrote some 10-page stuff for some anthologies here and there that still haven't even been published, I think. So it's not my first time writing, definitely, and it's not my first time writing a comic, but it is my first time writing a full-length comic that's going to actually, hopefully, be made and published. And it's my first time trying to write full sci-fi, which again, I think I keep getting drawn to sci-fi because I can mix it with all the other genres. You can mix sci-fi and cyberpunk. You can mix sci-fi and horror. You can mix sci-fi and Old West if you want to. You can mix sci-fi and fantasy. So I think like sci-fi just makes really good glue, I guess.
it does.
I've written the dialogue for Melvin #2 that I think is in sign up right now.
Yeah, I just saw Timothy said launching October 23rd.
Yeah, this one's launching first, so this will be my first putting myself out there. And Melvin was a completely different bag. That was interesting because everything was done but the dialogue. So that was it's very, very interesting. Looking at a page that's at least already like drawn, and going, all right, what are they saying right here? What should they be saying?
Was that a dog? Did I just
That's
see
my
a
dog.
That's what I
That's
was
my
hearing.
dog. She likes to lay on my feet under the desk But she had gotten into something, and so she has this bad rash. And so she was like really gnawing at it. And we had to put her in a cone so that she would leave it alone because she was making it worse. And so now she's in the cone and she'll scratch around the cone. But she'll just get scratch it and like shake my entire desk. And so like I'll be working and I'm like drawing like in everything. It's like I'm in freaking California or something. You know, and I'm like, okay. So sometimes I have to like, okay, it's time for you to go to the living room and lay down with mommy. You know?
I didn't want to ask, but I was like, I don't know what's going on with Luke right now.
Yeah, that's my pup. I think you can see her laying back there. So I think.
I was gonna say
Just
I
right
got to see
beyond
the
the-
cone of shame for a little bit there.
Yeah,
Those cones
she's
are
in that
funny.
kind of shame. Yeah,
So
she hates it, but
let me ask you guys, and I don't know which one of y'all want to answer, but why don't you tell us what this story of Riff Riders is about? Give us the sales pitch, the elevator pitch, the rundown of what this story is.
Do you want to do it, or you want me?
you can do it. I do it all the time. I want to hear you do it.
All right, Rift Riders is about three unlikely friends displaced in time that were just kind of using their situation to joyride because they didn't really have much else to do with themselves. And while using the tech and everything to have some fun, they ran into a problem, a very strange, very bizarre to them problem. It kind of defies logic, but I'll make sense of it, I promise. And in the spirit of adventure, they just decided that was the new thing they were going to do, is figure this out.
Piper, you don't give enough spoilers.
I know, I don't.
You give nothing. All right, here you go.
Here
you go.
Nothing here. You're gonna have to buy this.
I get in trouble.
Read it.
I get in trouble because so here's the deal. They're hanging out, okay, and going around and acting. I mean, they're just hanging out, having fun, going to parties, going to beach planets and hanging out. And while they're on their way to hang out, an entire timeline is gone, and all that's in its place is goo, because they travel in this thing that we call the Rift, which is a corridor outside of time, space, and dimension. So if you can imagine that you're a blimp, and time and space and dimension is a parade down below, and you can elevate yourself. You can see all of it at once and choose what part to focus in on. Well, that's what they're like. Their ship is like a blimp, and time and space and dimensions like the parade. So they can literally go anywhere because they're in this rift, this time and space, this corridor. And they will just pick a time or space or dimension to go to for funsies. And so they go to this one, they're headed to a beach right before they picked the time when it was right before their second sun collapsed. So it's like super tropical and very warm, no rain, it's great. So they know their vacation will get rained out. So they're getting ready to go there, and the timeline is gone, and all that's left is this green goo. And so they have to figure out, well, what is the goo? Where did it come from? What happened to the timeline? Which they normally wouldn't do, but Israel he loves new things and new puzzles. And this life is it's a little frustrating to him because he doesn't get to use his brain. So he may look 13, but he's really like 45. And he's been around for a while, and he's super smart. They're all super smart, but he's like, he likes a little change of pace. And so this whole thing has really gotten him jazzed to be able to figure out what it is, what's happening, the whole what, when, why, where, all of those questions are just coursing through his veins, and he is willing to put his life on the line just to find out. So the other two aren't so happy that he's so gung-ho, but they are happy to help and happy to find out because the more they search, the more they figure out, the more unravels. So if you will, it's in a sense, it's got that Da Vinci Code kind of feel. The more you learn, the more mystery there is around it, until you finally know that one linchpin piece that makes all of the weird things fall into place. And so it's got them all intrigued. But Israel by far is the one that he can't wait for this something new. It's like those people that love like escape rooms. They want like puzzles, that kind of stuff. So that's basically what is happening here, and we take these characters everywhere, like everywhere.
Now, are you gonna cross these characters over with your other books, like hybrids and?
Well, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Okay, I'm
And
wondering.
the cool part is, so they go through time, space, and dimension. They can be the glue that crosses over other books from other companies and other creators within the indie sphere that we're in. So, let's say you wanted to see.
Sense in almost any book.
They can go anywhere, and be in any. And what would be really cool is like if they're drawn in many different styles.
That would be.
Yeah, but it's all, you could tell it's them, but it's like a different style every time you see them in somebody else's book. But yeah, very, very cool. So yeah, definitely crossover, Lola. Definitely.
How many of these are you planning on? Do you have planned out? Is what I'm wondering. Like, because I know this is number 1, so.
If number 1 and number 2 just aren't super popular, like maybe they're funding, but they're having problems like we're having right now, kind of deal. If after 2 books, return readers aren't begging for more and whatever, then I know how to wrap it up in about 3. However, if people really like what's going on, I also know how to put them on so many different adventures with the overarching mystery, gluing those together, that they could go on a whole bunch. So this one, I just keep telling people, they go on, this series goes for as long as you want it to.
Right on.
Pretty much, yeah. Minimum
like
of 3.
I like that.
Maximum of 1 million.
Yeah.
Let's talk
1
about
million.
your perks here, because I see your featured is the Arrow Comic number 1's bundle.
Oh yeah.
So what all do we get in that?
8 books.
Yeah, there's 8 full books.
That's like
So
a lot of books for $50, man.
It really is. It really is. Now, the retail versions of a lot of these books sell for $5 or, is usually what we try to do. So we're trying to add a good value to people. But the campaign versions of these books obviously sell for more because there's more stuff that goes in them and things like that. So that's part of the reason why we can do this at such a good price, because not all of these, some of these are the retail versions of the books. So it lowers our cost so we can lower the cost to everybody else, because that's what we're ultimately trying to do, is get great stories in people's hands at a lower cost, because the economy's hitting us all. I don't think any of us are not in some way affected by gas prices, food, yeah, all of that stuff. It's all of that. So what you're getting here is you're going to get, if you've never read Hybrids, you're going to get Hybrids number 1. That is the Arrow Comics Remastered Edition. So you're going to get the start there. You get to read a book called Sin Killer by Marv V. And that book, this is going to be the first time it's released in the standard comic book size. It was released in a different formatting when he did his crowdfunding. But we're going to make this available to all of our U.S. people through Arrow Comics distribution as well. So you're going to be one of the first people to get it. You're going to be able to get Only Death Can Save Us number 1. You're going to be able to get Herobot Zero, which is about a 3-foot giant robot that saves the city repeatedly from crazy monsters, but demands overtime pay and hazard pay. So pretty funny, fun kind of cartoon style.
Can I stop you for just a second?
Well, of course.
Only Death Can Save Us was really, really good. My husband really enjoyed that book.
It was really,
Heck
really
yeah.
good.
So, yeah, I just want to point that out to everybody. That was a really good one. Hybrids was really good.
Okay.
Luke puts out really good work, y'all. I'm really impressed with what Luke does. And that's
Thank
why
you.
I have Luke on here. And Piper is a great editor. I've known quite a few people that she's edited for, that she's worked with, that have been impressed with her work. So these are people I bring on my channel because I trust them and I know they do good work and they do deliver.
I'm ready for people to see Piper's writing skills.
Me too.
Everybody knows her. She's an editor, but she's a really good writer too. And I know she's working on another project, writing something else that's more tongue in cheek, if you will.
That's gonna be fun. I'm
it was
trying
a-
not to
it was-
boost that too much
Yeah,
so that
it's
it
a-
doesn't take the shine away from
Yeah,
Riff Riders' funding right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's a joke that got wheels.
Yeah.
somehow grew legs and started running.
It was a shit post, and the internet willed it into
willed it into
being real.
existence. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you're also gonna get Riff Riders with that, and you're gonna get three other books. Paragon and Calico are like brand new books from Arrow that are both very, very good. If you like storytelling and good writing, you're gonna love those books. I mean, they're really good. So nothing that Arrow is putting out is a throwaway, in my opinion. It all has an audience, and it hits to it. So this is a huge variety of stuff, from horror to the Revolt book that is just a compilation of short stories, to our book, which is freaking awesome and fun. I can't say that enough. Of course I have to say that, but I'm telling you, it is.
I see your next one is a digital tier.
Yes. Yeah, we went digital.
Shipping,
there's a lot of
especially overseas,
Yes.
is way convoluted. I know a lot of people keep like dissing the having digital, but out of all the cons that I see listed, the big pro that I think overcomes all of those is, even if it's pirated or whatever, that's still more people reading it. So
Yeah, there's not a lot of people that pirate them, though, to be honest with you.
yeah,
I haven't seen that a lot. I haven't experienced that a lot. But what I have seen is people buy the book in digital, and they get the ones and zeros right away. And it doesn't cost me anything to print it or ship it.
Right.
So it's like, it is a great alternative. And there are people that love digital. So
Well, if somebody gets the digital and they read the ones, then maybe the next one they want the physical copy of it, and
Yes.
that's what they'll get.
yeah. If
exactly.
somebody
They just
doesn't
wanna
want to
check
risk
it out.
if somebody doesn't want to risk it on a book that they haven't read, then they don't want to risk the shipping price and this and that. This is a great way for somebody to find out whether or not it is a book they want to invest in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, it could be a huge investment for a single issue on a brand new series to do that. But then we're also going to make just the standard edition available on the website for for regular pricing, and obviously shipping still to the to the rest of the world is just insane. But if they do decide they want to come back and get the physical, we'll have it for them. We'll have some ready because we know they'll want them.
I totally understand having digital. Like I for me, I don't do digital just because I have a hard time sitting in front of the screen and reading. And I like having that physical copy. But I understand, especially with overseas, like you were saying, with the shipping, and because shipping is ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
Especially like Australia and those countries with the VAT tax. Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Crazy,
yeah.
VAT tax sucks.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good.
Let's see what your next one is. It's to start the adventure. So for $15, you get the comic. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, and you get all the stretch goals. So that includes stretch goals. Once we go to in demand, we will not offer stretch goals. Like, the tiers will be removed, and there will be another tier that reflects a more reasonable price, but it will not have stretch goals available. So all
What
of
are
the
your
extra
stretch
goodies.
goals?
Well, extra stickers and trading cards. If we hit 10K, Piper has to wear a grill until we do finish fulfillment. And so here's the deal. I'm handling fulfillment. And here
At least
is
she
my
doesn't have to
promise to
shave her
you.
head again.
Yeah, not doing that again. Not doing that. I'm doing temporary stuff that's a little more temporary.
Yeah, so here is my promise. If you get us to 10 grand, here's my promise to everybody. I'm doing fulfillment. I will find that one person that lives like right down the road, and I will let them know that I will give them their package on the very last day. I will ship everybody out right away, but one person will have to wait for their package so that we can maximize the time that Piper is in the grill. So we're going to make sure that we just draw that out as long as we can. Because she's on Tuesday nights with me on NerdCap. And I want to hear her try to talk with the grill in.
I just want to see Piper in a grill. Oh my God. That would be great.
I've been looking at the most pointy shark teeth ones because, of course, I have. And I'm like, yeah, that's the one.
That's the one for you, yeah. And if we hit 11K, then people that hate my pork pie are going to love this one. So I started wearing the pork pie right after I came back from being sick. The main reason I started wearing hats was because my hair had thinned so bad. And I was like, oh, I'm going to shave it off. My wife was like, don't shave it. They say it will start growing back. And so it's like, well, we'll give it some time. So I started wearing a hat so that I didn't have to see my stupid thin hair on the stream, and I would have a little more confidence. And so I bought a couple of hats, but I loved Heisenberg, Breaking Bad. So I bought the hat. Mo Biggs does not like the hat. In fact, Mo Biggs hates it so much, he calls it the Boy George hat.
Yeah.
Leave it to Mo.
Yeah, and so at 11,000, I will burn the pork pie, and one of the backers will be able to get the ashes. So, not that people are like tripping over themselves for that, but we will do that in honor of Mo Biggs. We will make sure that the pork pie goes away, and I will find another hat that he hates. It may take some time, but I will find one.
He did promise you wouldn't buy another pork pie or whatever. You wouldn't buy another one of those.
No. I'll say goodbye to the pork pie forever. If we hit 11K, I mean that's we're ways
that
off.
is during funding. Like if
During
it
funding,
gets there in demand, well, that was a stretch goal, so no.
Yeah.
Stretch goals are just for during funding. So.
Yes. So jump on these things now, if you.
How
can.
about if we get this funded in the next 8 days? We've got 8 days to get this funded, people. We get this funded. Luke, I will send you a pimp hat. One of those bright purple furry ones.
If we get funded in 8 days, I will wear the pimp hat.
There you go.
For a month.
For a month?
For a month, I'll wear the pimp hat. Yeah.
Not till fulfillment?
No, not till fulfillment.
Aww.
Just until November, until Thanksgiving.
He has to have like a one of those Quaker hats.
I'm gonna get a tricorn hat, yeah, for November. But yeah. If we can get funded in the next 8 days, I'll do it. I don't care.
Yes.
I will put my dignity on the line. That's how much I believe in this book.
Let's see. Hola, amiga.
That was kind of me with the shaving my head thing, man.
I remember when you shaved your head. Like, is this your natural hair now, or are you?
Yeah, this is not a wig. This is
quick.
how much it's grown. And I technically, at first, I was keeping it shaved. So beyond that one day, because we already realized we were going to be late in fulfillment, as soon as we realized that, I reshaved my head and said I was going to keep shaving my head, or keep my head shaved, basically, until fulfillment was done. And then they wanted to play games. And I was like, you know what? I'm here for the backers, but I'm not here for this. So I'm going to let my hair grow.
Well, the good news is we plan to have these books shipped out by February, so not too long from now. The good news is like right now, actually, Dillard's working on 2 new pages, and we're going to reveal those as soon as he's done, and we have the colors on them, and so we will reveal those two new pages probably within the week.
With all of our promo stuff.
Because
I am so like stingy about spoilers, right? So I'm so stingy that there was a whole nother aspect to this goo stuff that I was keeping secret. Like, oh, I can't wait till they read it in the book and find out this problem.
You need to have like a Piper spoiler as a stretch goal. Like Piper has to give a spoiler away at a certain level.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, that's so hard. I'm constantly like, I've been on a few streams, promotion streams with Luke, and I've been going, spoilers! No! Shh, don't tell him that!
So here's what I've learned. That sometimes it's those spoilers that get people to want to read the book, but they usually, by the time they get it, they've forgotten about the spoiler. So it's still fresh to them. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I remember they said that. Oh, that's so cool, So, but that's just, what I've learned. Because
You gotta give the people
I
a
forget
little
the spoilers, too.
something.
Yeah.
It's like a cat and mouse game, You let that mouse just run a little bit.
But
the
he
cat-
was going around telling everybody what the goo was, and I was like, no, the characters find that out in the book. You gotta read it to find it out with them. No, it's just green
I
goo.
can
as
only
far as you
imagine
know.
what you two working together is like. Oh my goodness.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny. So in the Killing Field arc, I actually tell the audience exactly what I'm doing in the arc. In the first book of the 4 books, I tell the audience what's going on. So exactly what's happening, but you watch our good guys just keep falling into the trap. So there's a trap, you know what the trap is, and you just watch them fall into it. So you're like, son of a why come
Don't
on.
go in there.
Don't do it, because
Don't open that door.
because I know, like, that's what I love about horror movies. Like, I'll watch a horror movie and I'm like, you idiot, they're right there. Because you know where it's at. You know where the jump scare is at. And even though you know the jump scare's coming, you still jump when it happens. And so that's kind of one of those things where I wanted to take that approach. And I remember Piper asking, it's like, do you really want to give all this away at the beginning? I said, I really think I want to try. And it by the end of it, it worked out. By the time we got all 4 of them written, it worked out well. So it's like, okay, we still have some big reveals in book 9. So that we're keeping secret. Like the first cover, like the cover A, is going to be completely blurred through the entire campaign because we're not going to show it because it will get struck. So we're going to keep it covered, and then you will see it for the first time when it comes to your door and you open the package. So that's when you'll see the cover for the first time. So all the other covers you get to see, but cover A you don't. It's hidden because it's kind of gory. And
as if it had some adult thematic.
Well, it's bloody, and it's also gut wrenching. And so when you see it, you'll be like, oh crap, that's what's happening in this book. So you're going to read the whole book.
It is a spoiler. The thing is a spoiler.
It is. It's a total spoiler. But you'll read the book knowing that the spoiler's coming, and it's still going to tick you off, and it's still going to make you feel something when you get there. Because there's tricks to do that when you're a good writer. You can do that. And so but yeah, so I like giving away spoilers and then hiding other spoilers in there. Like, there's levels of spoils. It's like a little spoiler and then a big spoiler.
He's I'm not giving you the whole meal. I'm just giving you the appetizer.
Exactly. Like, there's
Only
a big
the
thing.
appetizers, like the spoilers, right? Appetizers, what I think I'm giving.
No,
But then I see people give like an entire
you're seating them at the
salad,
you're just
and I'm
seating
like,
them at the
that's not an
table.
appetizer.
No, Piper, you're just giving us the drinks and saying, here, the appetizer's coming. But
Yeah. So I come sliding in with the free bread. Yeah, that's our relationship with this campaign.
I love it.
Yeah. She brings you the drinks, and I come sliding in with the free bread. And so we're getting ready to reveal a spoiler. That's not really it's not the biggest spoiler, but it's definitely an interesting aspect to the whole story because it adds another layer of something that you don't think about, that then becomes this one more thing to deal with. Because there's always that, the best stories always have that one more thing to deal with. That's like, oh crap, now we're gonna, but what about that? Well, what about the Cybermen? And there's always that like little thing that just,
I see you, Pop.
Just
I'll
messes
be
with
right.
you.
They're right at.
No.
I see ya.
I know you've got another stream to go to, Piper. So if you need to jump out, or we'll wrap up soon. I wanted to
I
get
gotta
to
jump
your.
in a few minutes, but we're on my variant right now, and it's very special.
Yes,
Yes.
I wanted to know about the variant and the metal prints as well. So
Yeah.
what's going on with the variant? What is that?
The variant kind of came about where I was asking a lot of artists that hang out in my circle and I know have done covers for friends of mine and their campaigns. And so I asked quite a few, and kind of like when I was trying to find some promo streams, I got left on red and never responded to. And I was like, oh, I guess they're too busy to even tell me no, that they're too busy. Like,
That's very busy.
right? And I'm like, so after a while, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I want to do the variant cover because I got Clip Studio right before they betrayed all their customers. Go figure. And I've been wanting an excuse to work on it and get used to digital hand drawing and this and that. So I'm doing the variant. And it took way long. I already gave myself what I thought was plenty of time. I don't. Quit it! Oh, nice. Thank you. I got a cookie. Okay. This cookie from under the green screen.
Sweet cookies.
Right?
Cookies.
Figure out where to set it down
No,
for a
I
minute. I'm
want
getting
cookies.
chocolate on me. It's all fresh and gooey.
That's what she
And
said.
right. So I did, and like I said, I thought I gave myself plenty of time because I knew I was going on a learning curve. I was like binging tutorials and this and that as I went. I still didn't give myself enough time because I didn't consider the fact that this new cool software I had was too much for my ancient hardware. So I had a hell of a time with crashes and the stylus randomly just disappearing and never coming back, and the fact that most of the time when I drew a line, it would take like some odd seconds for it to catch up. And that's after I looked that up and made sure that my that line smoothing or line correction or whatever was all the way off. Still, it was a tiny bit faster. It was still super delayed, and so I was getting so frustrated with this. I finished it 24 hours before the launch.
Wow.
We gave it to our colors 24 hours before the launch, and I was running around running errands and trying to get a whole bunch of other stuff done before launch. So the only color direction I could really give was I was like, here it is. Use an opposite color palette of the main cover. You know, stick more to the less in the blues and greens and more in the oranges and reddish stuff. Basically do something to where we can use the other color version of the title thing on it. That was all I gave them, and I think you did a really good job. These are still not the final colors because it wasn't until after launch that I had the time to zoom in and go, okay, hold up, some stuff's just not right, because we were in a hurry. So this is really close to what you're going to get, but it's not even the final colors. And it's only going to be this run.
Yes.
It's rare. So not only did it take literal blood, sweat, and tears to do a digital drawing, but it's the only, this is the only way you're going to get this variant.
Yeah.
That's why it's 25 instead of 15. It's not getting reprinted after. It's getting one print depending on how much we need. So
Yeah.
the smallest print to get the backers theirs, whatever's left over, and then that's it. It's never getting printed again.
Yeah, whatever we
So
take to cons or
special
sell to
Piper cover.
stores.
Yeah, it's special.
Yeah, everything else will get the primary cover, just like
And
everything
it's
else.
another
that
one of
we're
my
doing with
first.
Arrow.
It's my first freehand digital drawing, putting it out there. My first cover art.
And it looks so good.
Jason
Oh my
says,
goodness!
Thank you,
Piper
Unhinged.
number
Thank you.
74. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
so we're definitely we're past funny number then. Yep.
Funny number.
Although on
And
my
the-
end, it's just saying 70, so I think it needs to catch up. But
No,
yeah, we passed funny number.
That might be right because it counts actual backers, not how many times backers back. No, they fixed
okay.
that. Yeah, so
That
yeah,
and
I'm
I
not sure how that
think,
works.
yeah, okay, interesting.
Hmm.
I don't remember what backer number I was. I just remember backing it and then having to back it again because my stupid card was being an idiot. My bank
I've
was
seen
being an
some people. I've seen other people say that they have backed a campaign and then randomly gotten refunded and had to reback. So yeah, there might be some weird Indiegogo weirdness
Some-
going on that
Some
just randomly
tomfoolery.
Yes.
tomfoolery randomly
It's
hitting
always
people.
tomfoolery. Okay, so I see you have the metal prints as well.
Mhm.
Who's doing your metal prints?
Well, we're using this company called Ready Comics to do the metal prints because they
I'm
offer
gonna go.
a
I'm sorry, but that, yeah.
by
Hi,
Piper.
Piper. Thanks for coming on.
But don't forget to tell everybody that everybody gets a Luno sticker.
I was just getting ready to get to that.
Good. All
I
right.
got you, girl.
It was. I need to hang out more, Lola. I need to. Well, now my stream schedule needs to lighten up because of promoting, and then I hope we get to hang out.
Yes, I love you, Piper.
Me
We're
too.
gonna get this funded. Let's get this funded.
Thank you so much for this stream, and let's do this thing so that he has to wear a pimp hat.
Yes,
Or pimp hat.
let's get it funded so Luke has to wear a pin.
Then everyone's gonna want me on their streams. Then can we have you on to talk about the pimp hat?
Exactly.
Yes, we'll talk about that.
That's the whole point, Luke.
Yeah, it is exactly. So yeah, so we're using Ready Comics for the metal prints. They did my metal covers. So Phoenix Animation was not able to do the metal covers for me.
Okay.
He could have printed them, but the applying them to the books and printing the books, it was a whole other process. So this company actually does print books, but they do the metals as well. So they were able to marry the two. So the metal cover that I offered with the last campaign,
Right. I remember
they
that.
messaged me. They said, "Hey, that looks really good. Did we tell you about our glow in the dark feature that we have on metal now? It's blacklight activated,
Oh
so
wow.
it glows under black light, and they said it glows in the dark too, but their video, I mean, it had a little glow, but so I'm using their sales terms on this because it's so new. I've never actually seen one. I'm actually getting something else printed and shipped to me so that I could see what it looks like and drool over it and nerd out over it. But so I have a metal print that they're doing, and it will be blacklight activated, so it's going to be really, really cool. And the artwork is done by a very talented artist by the name of Daphne Lage from Ego Raven. She does a lot of, she's got quite a bit of following of herself on her own from her art and her writing. I met her through JD Calderon. That she's married to JD, and JD and I were all part of that Liberty debacle. So the
Right.
so
I
the
remember
Long
that.
Shots campaign, we were all part of that, and so that's how we got connected up with her, and her work was great, and it fit the aesthetic of the comic and what we were doing. So she did this really fun print, and then this one comes with a Luno sticker. Well, we've decided that all physical backers will get the Luno sticker. So anybody that backs physically up until fulfillment, or not fulfillment, up until the end of the campaign, will also get that sticker.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love it. And then you have your collector's bundle where you get
Yeah.
just everything. Look at that. You get, is that a backpack?
It is. It's a drawstring bag. It's a canvas bag that's printed, the dice up printed on there. I've got one that we had from the last Hybrids campaign that went out to the mailing list backers and to the collectors backers, and they're really great. They're like super sturdy and big, pretty large, and they work. They're fantastic. So I knew right away I wanted to add them to this campaign as well. So we have that, and they look really cool. I like them. I like them a lot.
I like these perks. These are really good perks, man.
Thank you.
And they're set up really well. This is a really good looking project, and I'm really
Thank you.
excited for Rift Riders. Like, I think you and Piper got something here, and I really want to see this get funded. Like, really want to see it get funded.
Thank you.
we
Obviously
can
I
get
do
the-
too. It's it's something I wanted to work. I wanted to work on this. Like I said last year, it was something I had. It was the plan to be the first one. In fact, the first 5 pages were released in the back of Hybrids #1, the remaster, but it was with a different artist and colorist. So and a different letterer. I'm lettering it now, and so really a different creative team. I mean, still Piper and I, but a different creative team, and we realized how much we liked it, and that it really deserved a lot more focus than a backup story. So
Right.
we decided to tell this story, and it's going to be, I mean, it's a fun sci-fi romp. I mean, if you can think about Doctor Who, Star Trek, Peter Pan, The Lost Boys, some Rescue Rangers thrown in there. I mean, just all of that, just really fun, high energy kind of stuff. Then that's what this is. This is what this is for you.
I love it. I love it. Everybody needs to go and back Rift Riders. The link is in the description, y'all. If I have a mod in here, please drop the link in the chat, because I am not on YouTube right now where I can drop that link, but it is in the description. Like I said, I want to see this get funded. It's got 8 days. Let's get it there, y'all. We can do it. It's $2,900 more to get it funded, and it's right there. Come on.
Yeah.
What are we waiting for, Comic Skate? We're supposed to be here to support, indie creators and great projects. We say we want great projects. We say we want stuff that doesn't have agenda, that's just fun to read. So support it. Support it if you want it, because that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the work, right?
Yeah.
And the work right here is showing that it's good.
Yeah, we
It's
really
good
care
work.
about this.
So, I have a big announcement, Luke. I
All right,
haven't
let's
given
hear
my
it.
big announcement. So at 8 Eastern, 7 my time, which is Central, I'm going to be dressed as a furry.
Ooh.
Unhinged is coming on, and I believe Ink Spots as well as Frog G are coming on with me, and we're going to promote Frog G, and I'm going to be dressed as a furry.
Very nice. Furries are popular.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Furries
But
are popular.
We're gonna have us a
I was at
furry
a con
stream.
last weekend. There's a lot of furries there.
We're gonna have us a little furry stream going on here about 7 o'clock my time, 8 Eastern.
It's like 2 hours away.
Yeah, you guys come out, have fun.
You guys better get your
please-
you better get your rabies shots and your flea collars on.
Yes. Get it going. Go back Rift Riders and then come hang out with us while we talk about Frog G. I'm super excited for this book, Luke. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
And like I said, I back this book, and I back the projects that I believe in. And I feel like I'm investing just as much in the creators as I am the project. And so I love Luke and Piper. They're good
Thank you.
people, and they deserve to have that success. So please, 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 just get out there and, share it. If you can't back it, share it. It's not that hard. Share that link out. Get other eyes on it, because that's how we grow, and that's how this works.
Yeah. Most people campaigns, they'll offer like a tip or like, a coffee. I do that sometimes. But for this, like for $5, you actually get a copy of the digital book. So even if you're just like, hey, things are tough, times are rough, I can't quite, I just spent all my money on something else, I can't really afford this. You can share it out, let people know about it. Buy a digital copy. If you bought a physical copy, I do encourage you to either, and this is, I know this sounds really greedy, but buy a copy to share with somebody. If this is a book that is written so that if you've not been into comics for a long time, it's something that could bring you back in. If you already love comics, it's right, it's there for you, as it is. But if have never read a comic, say you're a young reader, one of my favorite things, I just did a convention last week. It's my first 3-day convention post-hospital stay. It kicked my butt. I'm not going to lie. It kicked my butt. But I was so grateful for the opportunity because there was a couple of kids that their first ever comic book is a Hybrids book. Like, they're starting their collection with my universe. And
Don't you love that? Don't you just love it?
Yes.
Like, I homeschool my kids, and I did a comic book club for like my kids and other people's kids to be able to join up and stuff. And all of those kids had never seen a comic before. They didn't even know what a comic was. They were like, "What? Like, there's books with pictures and words? What?"
I mean, I think about when I was a kid and I saw a comic book for the first time. I was 5 years old, and I fell in love with comic books then. And here I am, 42 years old, and I still love them just as much. And dude, there was just something about watching kids get excited about the stories. So there was this family that came up, and it's a mom, dad. They got a little boy and they got a little girl. And I give the pitch. This is on a Sunday afternoon at the convention. I give the pitch for the books, and they say, "Okay, well, we're gonna walk around a little bit more." So they walk around, and sometimes I think, well, they're not coming back, but they did. This family, they came back, and they said, "We want to get that big deal with all the stuff that you said." And I said, "Okay, yeah." And I said, who did this one interest? And their little girl raised her hand and goes, "Me." And I'm like, and I said, you know what's really cool? I said, a lot of people think comics are just for boys, but they're not. They're for girls too. And I said, I find that a lot of little girls like my stories because I have some characters that are based off of some pretty awesome girls, and they do some pretty awesome things. So I said, you're going to really enjoy this. And it was just so exciting to give her this universe that she could play in and read about, and play the RPG with. And so I wanted to write something, or be a part of something, produce something that, number one, I was really proud to put my name on and my face to, because really at the end of the day, all you have is your name.
Right.
That's, I mean, not to get all sappy and stuff, but this time last year I was asleep. I was in the hospital fighting for my life.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah, if I would have lost that fight, all that would have been left of me is a name and 2 dates. My start date and my finish date. And so if I'm going to put my name to something, it's going to be pretty damn awesome. I'm not going to waste any time or effort with things that aren't awesome. And so I really believe in this. I believe in what it is. I believe in who it's for. And I wanted to make something that comic lovers all over could get into. And I wanted to make something that CG could be proud of. To say, hey, look, while people are having Twitter battles about what sucks, we're making something that's awesome. That's just part of my goal is to apply myself to this thing and create something that not only I'm proud of, but everybody else can be proud of too. So there you go. That's my election speech. So once again, I'm coming to you asking for money.
Well, I'm going to play the trailer out as we end out here, but I want to leave you with a word, Luke. And the word I'm going to leave you with is grace. Give yourself grace because you've been through something very traumatic, and it's going to take time. It's going to take, a lot of time, a lot of healing. And you're getting there, buddy. You're getting there. And I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of where you're at and where you're going. And I'm glad that I get to help be a part of that.
I appreciate you being a part of it.
Say hi, Luke.
Hi.
Hi.
And say hi, Chat.
Hi.
So cute.
We're ending out, though. And everybody go over to Pops. He's doing CromCon today. And
Hello.
I think Piper's over there right now.
Hello.
So everybody go over there, but we're going to play the trailer out, and we're going to end it out here. Does it sound good, Luke?
Sounds good to me. Thank you for sharing your audience with us.
Definitely. And if you're over here from the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard stuff, and this is your first comic, I mean, check it out. Go check it out. $5. You get a digital, and you can see if you like it. You come back for the second one. There's a physical there for you.
And we're all on team. We're all Team Johnny, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh yeah, we're all Team Johnny here. All right, I'm gonna play this trailer. Let's make sure I don't boomer it. Because I have not done this in a while. Can you hear it? All right.
When your timeline reaches its Armageddon, what's a kid to do?
I'm not a...
Ignite the keys to your mom's experimental ship, of course.
That's not quite how it happened.
Drift aimlessly in the rift between dimensions, trying to figure out how to operate it.
Now hold on a sec.
Pick up a few hitchhikers,
Hello.
maybe solve a disturbing mystery that could lead to the destruction of reality itself.
You know, if this time...
There's always time.
I'm not so sure about that.
Get in on the adventure with the Rift Riders on Indiegogo.